Welcome to Myo 360, the podcast, where we'll delve into all topics related to myofunctional therapy, including airway health, snoring, sleep apnea, TMJ, tongue ties, thumb sucking, and even bedwetting. As a myofunctional therapist, sleep coach, functional breathing instructor, and formal dental hygienist, I'm sharing stories and tips to help you identify if myofunctional therapy is right for you and how it can help improve your overall health. Visit the show notes and take our quiz. Is myofunctional therapy right for me? Are you ready to feel better? Find the quiz to see how myofunctional therapy can help you and your family live your best life.
And now for the fine print. The information presented in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. We recommend consulting with a qualified healthcare professional for any questions or concerns you may have regarding your specific health condition.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Myo 360. I am your host, Becca Rose. Today, we are going to talk about something completely different. We're not going to talk about sleep or breathing or tongue ties, anything like that today. What I'd like to talk about is my business. So a business related podcast. And this is something I've never done before. It's been a really exciting few months over here at Myofunctional Pathways. And I really wanted to give the audience an update on all of the things that we have been working on to bring more availability and more services to you. So let's start with January of 2025. I hired an assistant to help with some office responsibilities and also to help me with my social media. My office moved twice. There's 2 office locations now, and there's also 2 new service programs that are brand new to my business, Myofunctional Pathways, that I am so excited to talk to you about today. So let's jump back to Cynthia. Cynthia is my assistant. She is in charge of all of my social media. So until about 3 months ago, I was doing it all on my own. And if you do a lot of your own social media type of things and you're running a business at the same time, you know how much there is to do. And being a social media content person, it's like a full-time job in itself. So it's a lot of research, it's a lot of creativity and creation and planning and posting. And so it's been really fantastic to have Cynthia take that over for me. Because if you know me personally, you know I have no creativity. I am not an artistic person. So it's really good to have someone on the team who can look at things from a different perspective and really just put some nice things together for my business. I really appreciate all her hard work. Also, she is going to be the one that you talk to if you call the office to schedule an evaluation or you want to have a discovery call. She is the one you'll talk to, and she will help get you set up for the right service to get you started. We have 2 new programs. I am so excited about both of these programs. So the first one, let's talk about the Mini-MYO Pathways. So I have been working on implementing a toddler-based coaching program that is going to be focused on what we call anticipatory guidance. We're going to be working on facial movements, tongue movements, helping to keep the nose clean and clear, and doing play-based activities that are going to help to guide younger children starting at about age 3. So we're going to have like a 3 to 4-year-old program so we can start getting these kiddos used to having their mouth closed, used to having a clean nose, getting their tongue to move in different ways so that we can help guide them to good oral health and good airway health at a younger age. It's amazing the amount of parents who reach out to us that are desperate. They're like, I need some help. My child needs some help. And there's no one out there to help us. The doctor won't help us because they say nothing's wrong. The kid's going to outgrow it. Or they send them to the ENT and they don't want to explore other options. And the only solution they're given for their issues is take tonsils and adenoids out. And a lot of parents don't want to do that. So they want to try other things first. So with a 3-year-old, we're not doing true myofunctional therapy because they're not developmentally at that age yet. But what we are doing is guidance, coaching, movement, play-based activities that are going to help develop some of their oral muscles, their oral function, their nasal breathing, so that we can help be a part of their success story as they're growing. And then the moms are super grateful because they don't have to wait until their kid is 5 or 6 years old to start doing something about their poor sleep or about their messy eating. Now, it's important to know that not all toddlers who come to us will qualify for the Mini-MYO Pathways program. There has to be certain things in place, like the child has to have maybe been checked out by a doctor, and we have to make sure that their tonsils and adenoids are not blocking the airway. So we're going to have really thorough conversations and ask you some questions and go through some things to make sure that your child is experiencing more of a habit when it comes to mouth breathing and doesn't have a physical blockage somewhere in their airway that's preventing them from doing the things that they need to do. So the other thing we have to really screen for are feeding difficulties. If there is very frequent coughing and choking and difficulty with feeding issues, then we might need to start somewhere else before we can come and do the Mini-MYO Pathways program here. So we're going to ask you some questions because I want to make sure that if you come to our practice, that you're going to get the best outcome for your child. And sometimes we're a good place to start, and sometimes we're not. Sometimes we need to start with another type of provider first. So that's one of the things we're going to help you navigate. The other program is really, really exciting to me because it's going to bring some myofunctional therapy to a group of people that is in desperate need of it. I was recently approved by the state of Wisconsin as an approved provider for Sheboygan County for the Children's Long-Term Support Waiver. So what is that? It's a state-funded waiver program that is specifically designed for children with disabilities, and it allows me to see them for myofunctional therapy, which is absolutely incredible. Okay. So any child who is part of the Children's Long-Term Support Waiver Program through the state of Wisconsin, they live in Sheboygan County, can find me as a provider, and they can then contact their caseworker and find out about what it takes to get on my calendar. So this is really, really fantastic. We're talking about children with Down syndrome, autism, and a very wide range of other disabilities, whether they be emotional, psychological, developmental, physical, that they can come and start to do some myofunctional therapy. Now, the same thing applies with the child. You know, we have to be able to do certain movements and we have to be able to meet certain goals. But one thing I really pride myself in my practice is creating a plan that is completely specific to you. So I'm not going to give you the same treatment plan as the next person because you have a totally different circumstance. Same thing with toddlers and same thing with any kind of disability. And then same thing with any person who isn't a toddler or doesn't have a disability. Every single one of you are completely unique, and I approach your case from where you are and what you need and what your goals are and what you are able to achieve. So this is really, really an amazing, I'm speechless. Can you tell? This is just an amazing opportunity because there are so many therapies available to kids with disabilities. but myofunctional therapy is not one of the ones that we commonly hear about. And the same thing, like the moms of toddlers or dads of toddlers are like, my kid needs help. We need help for our child. We've done all these things and no one's been able to help. And I hear the same story from the parents with the children who have a disability. We've done all these therapies, we've done all these things, and we still need something else. Now, is myofunctional therapy the magic cure? No, it's not. There is no magic cure for anything. But we are working on these muscles in a way that's different than other specialties like speech therapy, for instance. A lot of children, toddlers, and children with disabilities spend years in speech therapy, and we hope to see an improvement in their speech when they are done with their myofunctional therapy, because we're working on the muscles in a different way for a different purpose, for a different outcome, because we're focusing on different functions. But oftentimes those functions then and those movements can help to enhance the speech therapy outcome. Okay. So myofunctional therapy and speech therapy work really, really well together. I feel like, and this is my opinion, but I feel like they work better when they are done together than when they are done separately, when there is a significant speech concern that's been documented. My opinion. So I'm so excited. I'm speechless about that. So also, I opened up an office space up in De Pere, Wisconsin, which is just outside of Green Bay. I'm inside a wellness center that is part of a physical therapy practice. So it's In Spirit Therapy Associates, and they have a beautiful office, beautiful wellness center and building up in De Pere. And I am there on Mondays. So one day a week, I go up there and I see patients in the De Pere location. And I also just relocated my office in Oostburg to a bigger office in Oostburg. So my original location was a great starting space here. And I just got this brand new space here. It's close to 500 square feet. It's a really nice room, and it's going to give us a little bit extra space for when we start working with the kids and the toddlers and the children with special needs that come in. And maybe we do some activities and we do some jumping jacks, or we move around and do some different physical things. So everything has just kind of morphed into this perfect scenario to allow me to be able to offer more of myself and more of my business to my patients, to my clients. So all of this has just literally happened in the last 3 months. And most of it wasn't planned. I didn't plan on moving my office in Oostburg to another building. It just kind of happened. The opportunity arose, and I was foolish not to take it. And then at the same time, the children's waiver was happening. And I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I've had all these parents calling about the toddlers. I'm like, I really should do something to help the toddlers. And everything just came together. And then, of course, with all those extra things, I need some extra help. So Cynthia's there too to help me. So there's just been so many amazing things happening here. I wanted to share it with you, not as a way to boast or to be proud, but as a way to be honored that your support has given me the opportunity to be able to serve now 2 whole new groups of people that I've not been able to serve before. And it's because of you and your support that adults and children of all ages are experiencing significant improvements in their sleep, their breathing, their chewing, their swallowing, their TMJ, their clenching, their grinding, their sleep apnea, their CPAP use, their bedwetting, all the things that you hear me talk about all the time. And now I have the very honored ability to share that with 2 new groups of people. And I have no doubt that it will be just as life-changing for them as it has been for all of you. So I wanted to say thank you so much for supporting this podcast and supporting Myofunctional Pathways. If you're a client, a past client, or you're thinking about becoming a client, please reach out to us. We do everything we can to be as structured and personalized and patient focused as we absolutely can. So, thank you so much for listening, and take this opportunity to go back through some of the previous episodes. There's so much great information here about sleeping and tongue ties and snoring. And if you've been struggling with these things and you've been thinking about maybe reaching out and having a conversation, now is a great time to do that. Give us a call or send us a text or an email, and myself or Cynthia will get back to you. We'll answer your questions and we'll help get you established so we can help you and your family live your best life. We'll catch you next time.
And now for the fine print. The information presented in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. We recommend consulting with a qualified healthcare professional for any questions or concerns you may have regarding your specific health condition.